Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap. I'm Jarret Johnson, and Texas Tech provided its most impressive performance of the young season with the 91-64 victory over Iowa State in Ames. It's also the first time Texas Tech has won back-to-back Big 12 games this season. First time they have since February of last season when, again, they beat Kansas State and Iowa State back-to-back. Now, Kansas State and Iowa State are right now, as of right now, record-wise, the worst teams in the Big 12. But still, 91-64, and I know, you can also make the excuse, of course, there's not the big crowd at the Hilton like we're used to, but everyone's having to deal with that. Texas Tech has lost its big home court advantage as well. Bottom line is, Red Raiders face adversity this week with Jamarius Burton, all the drama of him leaving the program, and just kind of have struggled earlier in the season. They've had a lot of adversity, and this was a big response to go into Ames, and in my opinion, they did it with a great early start. I mean, they jumped out on Iowa State, had a big lead early, big lead at the half, and then they cruised to a 27-point victory on the road against a Big 12 opponent. And this is an Iowa State team. Now, don't get me wrong, they're 0-5 in Big 12 now, but they played Baylor and Texas, I believe, in consecutive games. Pretty close. They played them tough. So this is a team that this was never really competitive today. Texas Tech just hammered Iowa State. They looked really good in doing so. I want to give a shout out to a couple of individual performances that really impressed me. And I want to start off with Kevin McCullough. Just his fourth game this season. He hasn't really looked right. He even looked like he may have got, at one point, like he got hurt and was kind of hobbled, and we all were thinking doom and gloom. Oh no, McCullough's hurt again. But he came back out there, played well. Once he went back out there, appears to be fine. Had, I believe, his first double-double of his career. He finished with 15 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Really great game, a really good game by McCullough. Great to see. This team goes to another level, takes another step if he's playing at that level. Because he really is one of the better players in the Big 12 when he's 100% right and good to go, in shape, all that, in the flow of the game. Once he gets up to speed, he's one of the better players on your team and one of the better players in the league. Makes your team that much better. Speaking of making other people better, another individual performance I want to point out is Terence Shannon. He didn't score a lot of points. Let's see. He finished in double digits, 11 points on 3 of 8 shooting, but he also had a team-high 6 assists. So this is off the bench. Again, as Coach Beard said, Shannon came to him and said, look, I can handle coming off the bench. Some of the guys prefer to start. That's fine. Bring me off the bench. Well, Shannon just continues to make winning plays. His combination of talent, toughness, fearlessness, and unselfishness is why he's quickly becoming one of my all-time favorite Red Raider basketball players. I'm just a huge fan of Terence Shannon. Another guy playing at a really high level right now with McClain. He's put together 2 really efficient games in a row. He had 18 points on 8 of 10 shooting, 1 of 3 from deep. He did have 3 turnovers, but what's funny is I don't really remember those. Those weren't obviously with the score in the game. They weren't big factors in the game. So McClain played really well again. His shooting percentage has gone way up here recently, and they can keep that going because next week, Texas Tech, they're going from playing the 2 teams at the bottom of the Big 12 standings to the 2 teams in the top of the Big 12 standings, 2 top 5 teams. First going to Austin on Wednesday to take on number 4 Texas before returning home to host Baylor, number 2 Baylor. So big test next week. If the Red Raiders can split, I think you'd be happy. If you win both, you're ecstatic. It's on. If you lose both, it's kind of like go back to the drawing board. But come on, both of them are top 5 teams. Coach Beard would never admit this, and rightfully so. But these are going to be 2 really tough tests. So I think this is as good as Tech has played this year, is where they're at right now. So you like that they're moving up, they're going up. Their confidence should be high going into this game. And speaking of confidence being high, a couple of guys, I can't believe I'm just now mentioning it, but Kyler Edwards had a terrific game. He's a guy who, he appears to be really good or really bad. There's not a whole lot in between for him. If he could ever do it on a consistent basis, he would be a terrific player for you. And he does give you a lot in a lot of different areas. But he had a really good game tonight. He led the team in scoring, finished with 19 points on just 6 of 9 shooting. That's great. He knocked down, 3 trays, 4 of his 5 free throws. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists. So, I mean, and he really didn't play. I mean, he played, is that right? Oh, he only played 30 minutes, which, was the most. He plays the most. Him and McClain played the most minutes on the team. But Edwards, he earned his minutes tonight. He played very well. Great game from him. Beyond just the stats, he made a lot of really good plays for Texas Tech. Really good to see Kyler Edwards to play that well. And I mentioned a couple of guys in terms of confidence, and who I think received confidence booster is, man, Jamarius Burton had a good game. He looked like a completely different player Saturday as he had in the last several games. Very confident, aggressive. One of my favorite plays that he made was when he dug out, a guy for Iowa State had the ball in the post, and he doubled down and dug out the ball, got a tie-up. Actually ripped the ball out of the big man's hands, but it was a tie-up, and got possession for Texas Tech. So he shot better today. Let me see exactly how many points he had. Burton finished with 9 points, which is, man, that's really good coming from him. So, he didn't really do a whole lot statistically, other than, like I said, he tied the ball up there, but he didn't turn the ball over. He shot well, 9 points on, he made half his shots. Good game from Jamarius Burton. And I mean, if he can provide that, then Texas Tech's going to be tough. So I also want to say I'm really impressed. I mentioned this earlier in this video, but I'm really impressed with the way Texas Tech responded. I'm not surprised because it's a team led by Coach Chris Beard, one of the best in the business. But there has been just something kind of off this season. And this team, I mean, they got out on the break. They played aggressive. They showed up ready to play. This is the best the team has looked all season. And it's not even close in my opinion. And I'm just really impressed with the response from, some of that negativity. So I can't wait for these games coming up. Starting off, I just want to go one at a time, even as a fan, just because these should be really great matchups and wonderful opportunities for Coach Beard and the Red Raiders. Texas Tech, like I said, Wednesday night against Texas in Austin, Saturday at home against Baylor. Really looking forward to it. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.